Hey guys, I'm Mike the Travelling Scouser and welcome to Gdansk. So come with me as I show you around this beautiful city. I'm Mike, the Travelling Scouser. In this video, I travel to the city of Gdansk in northeastern Poland. A medieval city with views and architecture that elevate it above a lot of other cities. So come with me for the ride as I show you what you can enjoy in this beautiful place.
Yeah. Okay.
On arrival into the main city, you will be greeted by the High Gate and the Gatehouse complex. Just past the High Gate is the torture room and prison tower. The city prison was located in this building between the 17th and 19th centuries. Evidence of stocks and other torture techniques are still on show here, and it was here that I was given a warm welcome to the city of Gdansk. I knew I would be at home here. We passed through the Golden Gate, a historic Renaissance city gate from the 17th century which forms part of the royal route and leads us to Długa Street, the main street within the old town of Gdańsk. Picturesque Dluga Street is one of the city's oldest thoroughfares, and for any tourist to the city, this street is a must-see and a must-do. From the Golden Gate which protects it, the gently curving street opens into an array of colourful houses, rococo portals, Gothic mouldings and original porticos. Many of the houses originally date to the 1500s and are examples of the influence of the Dutch Renaissance on Gdansk architecture. Sadly, most of the buildings were destroyed in 1945 at the end of World War II. However, reconstruction was informed by old architectural plans, historical records and photographs, and the result is something of a miracle. An accurate representation was achieved, and what we see here is what Gdansk would have looked like at the turn of the 20th century. Gdansk's most visible place of worship is St. Mary's Basilica. It is currently the second largest brick church in the world. Because of that, it can hold up to 25,000 people. St. Mary's was seriously damaged during World War II in the storming of the city by the Soviet Union in March 1945. The original frescoes have since been whitewashed. The wooden roof burned completely and most of the ceiling fell through. In some places, the heat was so intense that some of the bricks melted, especially in the upper part of the tower, which acted as a giant chimney. However, many items from the church, such as altars and paintings, were moved to other places in Poland and Germany in 1942. Following the reconstruction of this church in 1955, many of these items have been returned and can now be enjoyed in their original setting. One of the epitaphs that has been returned and is now on display is this scene created in 1591 for a man named Edward Blemke. This epitaph depicts a scene from the Bible book of Ezekiel, and the tetragrammaton can be seen, as can the name of God written in Latin, Jehovah. The next place we stopped off at was at the waterfront and Modlava River, and this is the perfect place for a stroll and to yet again enjoy the stunning architecture which is on show. One of the defining symbols of Gdansk can be found along the waterfront, and it's the crane. At the moment, the crane is being renovated, but you can still make out the shell of the structure. Its current design was created in the 1440s, and at one time, this was the biggest working crane in the world. It remained a working crane until the middle of the 19th century, yet it was 80% destroyed in 1945 in the Battle for Gdansk. After the war, it was rebuilt and donated to the Polish Maritime Museum, of which it remains a part today. And once fully renovated, it will return to its former glory and will be open for tours yet again. We now stepped into St. John's Church, which can be found on the outskirts of Old Town. This brick church dates to the 1300s, and for me, this building symbolises the resilience and rejuvenation that Gdansk has been able to enjoy. Though the building was burned and completely abandoned after World War II, the church has been completely renovated and it is once again one of the great landmarks of Gdansk. And while many of its interior fittings have been moved to St Mary's Basilica, its famous 12-metre high Renaissance altar remains, as do a number of tombs and gravestones, which give you a good idea of the city's multicultural history. And the church now has a dual role, with the altar on show at one end of the building and a stage on show at the other end. And it's said to be a superb concert venue thanks to the building's unique acoustics. This building is well worth a visit, even just to see an example of how the city has rebuilt and revitalised itself. Now we head back to Długa Street, and in particular the area around Long Market and the Green Gate. The Green Gate is the grand building that completes Dluga Street. It was constructed in the 1560s and is a fine example of Dutch-Flemish architecture. It is in this area that you can find many of Gdansk's best cafes and restaurants. So here just behind me is one of the popular landmarks in our town of Gdansk. It is the Neptune fountain. Dates to the 17th century, and if you're in here in Gdansk, get down here, get your photograph taken with Neptune himself. It's now time to venture out into Gdansk at night time, and the city is just as beautiful at night as it is during the day. If you take a walk along the waterfront, you'll be able to catch the reflection of the buildings in the river, another hidden gem to the city. We're into another day in Gdansk, and this time the sunny climes of the day before have converted into a snowy winter wonderland. But whatever the weather in Gdansk, this is a charming city that is well worth a visit. In another video, I'll detail how this is one of the best foodie cities that I've ever visited. I'll also show some more of the attractions that you can visit whilst in and around Gdansk. Please don't forget to hit the like button if you've liked what you've seen today. I've been Mike the Travelling Scouser. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today, hit the subscribe button below.